Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and I just had to do this video and clear a few things up for people out there because, they just can't let it go. People can't have a conversation of, hey, what does the carbon tax mean? I'm getting ripped off, I don't get a rebate. So, first thing first, and I want to call out CBC on this. The Canadian Broadcasting Corporation just did a video on the carbon tax, and it was the worst story I have ever seen CBC do. Honestly, I'm not even putting a link in here because they brought people on and said, is it working? Does it accomplish what you want to do? And they put people on that said, oh, I don't know. We've had it for a while now and I don't think it works. Or it does work, or we don't know yet. Did they not read it? What it's all about? Did they not read? These are university professors and people that are supposed to know. Oh, the Canadian Taxpayer Federation. Those guys are a joke. They used to be okay. Not anymore, because they're just against everything. They have no solutions. And people that do not have solutions, I don't really care to even talk to you, because you don't want to come up with a solution. You just want to complain. Let's complain. And I like to complain like the next guy. Let's complain. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of the carbon tax in Canada. I live in Alberta. I looked this up today. We get the most. We get the most rebate per person than any other province in Canada. The most, by 50%. We're not talking, oh, I get $1 per quarter more than the people in Ontario. We get 50% more. And when people in Ontario and Quebec and all this other kind of stuff start to, well, Quebec's not part of the carbon tax. They don't get any rebate, and neither does British Columbia. Sorry, British Columbia, Quebec, you guys screwed yourselves. But anyways, we get the most by 50%. Now, the media quotes $1,800 a year, and that is incorrect. Let's get this straight. The $1,800 a year is for a family of 4. Okay? Family of 4 gets $1,800 a year if you live in Alberta. 50% more than everywhere else. So stop complaining. 2. Why do we get 50% more? Well, that's a whole question I don't have time to answer. It's a complicated thing, but here's the gist if you're kind of wondering, am I getting screwed by the carbon tax? Now, when the carbon tax came in, I was 100% for it. It was at $20 a ton of CO2. Most people didn't even notice it. Okay? Most people did not notice what it was. 2.5 cents a liter on your fuel bill when you fill up your car, and $1 a gig on your heating bill. Nobody noticed it. In fact, nobody noticed the carbon tax was even a thing until this year, because it's now $80 a ton. 4 times more. What does that mean? That means 14.3 cents a liter when you go to the pump to fill your car up is carbon tax. 14.3 cents a liter. How often do you fill your car up? Once a week, once a month, once every 2 weeks. As I have talked to everybody I know, most people are 2 weeks, maybe 3. Some are a little more. But as an individual, you're getting $225 a quarter. Okay? $900 a year. So I decided, well, I drive an F150. How much gasoline does an F150 hold? Mine doesn't hold any because it's electric, so that's not fair. So let's say 100 liters, my old Dodge. I used to put 100 liters in there to fill it up. Well, I'm paying $14 a fill in carbon tax, $14.30. If I put 100 liters in, it's as simple as that. Okay, how often do I fill? I fill twice a month. $28.60 a month times 3. Oh, 28, what's 20? Let's round it up to 30 so we can do the math easier. $90. So $90 a quarter is going to carbon tax, and they're giving me $225. Holy, just netted $135 in cash to go do what I want. Oh, that's pretty good. just to let you know, the average person, they have figured it out, and it's somewhere between 84 to 90% of the population that's getting a rebate, and everybody gets a rebate because there's no income cutoff, and there should be an income cutoff. You make $300,000 a year, what do you care? Honestly, I did it once. I didn't care. Okay? I just didn't care. And then, of course, the following year I made negative $150,000. I should have cared. But anyways, that's another story. So, Alberta gets 50% more than anyone else. 238% more on a yearly basis than New Brunswick. 238% more in Alberta. Woo-hoo! Don't you just love living in Alberta? And all they do is complain. I don't get it. Now, just so you know, it's at $80 a ton. Is the carbon tax going to work? This is what it's for. You get this rebate, okay? You're getting your $900 a year. If you're married and have no kids, your spouse gets $450 a year, okay? So your spouse will get $450, you'll get $900 in Alberta. And that's the most, 50% more than any other province. All you other provinces out there, maybe you complain you're not getting enough. Will it work for me to reduce my carbon emissions? And the answer is no, it will not. And why do I say this? Now, it doesn't cost me anything. So I'm totally against where it is now. I will not vote for these right-wing nutcase Nazis, mamby-pamby, whiner complainers, because they don't have a solution. I'd rather vote for someone that has a solution than vote for someone that just puts their head in the sand and pollutes the water and lets everyone die. I'm not voting for that. So, will it work? And the answer is no. And the reason for it is rebates. The carbon thing was say, okay, we're going to tax this carbon, and because we're taxing it, and I got to pay it, I will do things so I don't have to pay it, but I'll still get the rebate. So the government's going to give me $900 a year, and I don't produce any carbon. Woo-hoo! That's $900. I could take a trip to Vegas, or Vancouver, or Toronto, or Quebec City. Oh, beautiful Quebec City. Oh, what a great place to visit. Or maybe New Brunswick. Wherever. I got my $900. I didn't produce any carbon. So, but $900 a year is not enough as a rebate to me. Oh, I can do little things. A more efficient furnace maybe. Okay, take that $900 a year for a couple years. That gets me a brand new furnace. Cut down my carbon in half because I got a 95% efficient furnace. Well, every furnace is 90% now. If I live in an old house, okay. But that doesn't do me any good. I could get a more efficient vehicle. Well, $900 a year isn't going to get me to go buy a more efficient vehicle. Unless I need a vehicle, I'll take the more efficient one. But no, I'm not going to go and buy one. I'm going to keep driving what I'm driving. Can't go. These vehicles are incredibly expensive. Electric cars are through the roof in Canada. You know, for F150 Lightnings, which is the best electric vehicle made right now on the marketplace. $85,000 for an XLT. That's not cheap. Who can afford that? So, as much as I support the carbon tax 100%, it's not going to accomplish because they're giving rebates. What they should have done is $40 a ton. At $40 a ton, nobody's going to really notice it. And you take that money and you invest it into renewable projects all over the country. Jobs, everything, but they're funded by the carbon tax and there's no rebate going back. It's going into a fund and that fund's going out. And you eliminate the carbon producing things where you are. I live in Alberta and I hate to tell you this is just physics and math. There is no way that Albertans can stop using natural gas to heat their houses. No way. We would have to build 37 5,000 megawatt nuclear power plants to stop using natural gas, convert everything to electricity. That's how many we would have to build. 37 5,000 megawatt nuclear power plants. That can't get done by 2030. I mean, there's not even enough people in the country to do that. And that's what would have to happen. And this is the disconnect. Now they're whining and complaining and blah, 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 blah. And the rebates will get bigger and the carbon tax will go up and blah, 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 blah. And the writer-ringers will be complaining about it and everyone will complain. But nobody comes up with a solution. Well, my solution is we should start building those Bill Gates natural gas, nuclear power plants that don't melt down because they're cooled with liquid metal in this province. And we should start right away. And we should be able to build one in about 3 years, 3 to 4 years. That would be a 3,000 megawatt size, not 5,000. We can do that in 3 to 4 years, no problem. This 10-year thing is just crap. And start building them and put it on the grid. So electricity is 10 cents a kilowatt hour and it's renewable. And remember, nuclear waste now isn't this green liquidy stuff. They're just little pellet things. And 3,000 megawatt nuclear power plant. In 1 year, the total waste is about that much. So, it's not like it used to be. But that's not going to happen. So let's just keep complaining. Take my $900 and I'm going to take my $900 a year and I'm going to invest it into more solar panels because I already got the solar panels. I'm going to take this $900 a year. I'm going to pay off, I'm going to apply it to my solar panels to add more solar panels because I'm already got a zero electricity bill for the year and I got an electric vehicle so I can add more. So $900 gets me 2 panels. So I'm going to wait 3 years and then add 6 more panels to my house, which I'm allowed to do because I have an electric vehicle and the carbon tax will pay for it. And then, I'm not paying any electricity. Now, does that stop carbon from being made? Absolutely. But does it solve the problem? Absolutely not. Because of the rebates. They need to just set it at 40 and no rebates. And everyone will be okay with that. Oh, we get to complain about it because nobody wants to pay taxes. If taxes were zero on everything, the Canadian Taxpayer Federation would still complain. But hey, we need roads. The potholes are coming, man. It's going to be 19 degrees tomorrow because I'm filming this in my basement in the morning and I'm posting it on April 1st. It's going to be 19 degrees tomorrow. It was minus 19 on Saturday. This causes major potholes and more snow coming for Friday. So we're going to heat up. Everything's going to start melting. That water's going to go into the roads. Oh, this is carbon tax, man. We need more asphalt. So there's your pricing on your carbon tax. Stop complaining about it, people. You're getting a $900 individual rebate. Your spouse is getting $450 rebate per year. You are not paying that much in this tax. The government's giving you money and incentivizing you to reduce your carbon. But unfortunately, it's not enough to get everyone to do what they want to do. It'll do some, but not very much. Driving an electric vehicle is more fun and goes faster and I just cannot explain how much fun it is than a combustion engine. Once you do it, you'll convert. Forget about the carbon tax. You'll just convert. Range is important though. So thank you for tuning in to this rebate of the carbon tax in Canada. It is 50% more in Alberta than anywhere else. And so Albertans need to stop complaining because we're getting the benefit. I have no understanding of this. We pay the lowest tax of anybody and we get the biggest rebates than anyone else in the country. And all we do is complain. Something wrong with that. I think you should say thank you. And yes, we need to stop the carbon tax from going up and change how it's being spent. Forget the rebates. Make it a lower amount and forget the rebates and invest it into green projects in our country, made in Canada, incorporated in Canada. Make the panels here, make the stuff here, incorporate it here, and make us green, and I'm totally okay with that. And start building nuclear power plants. We need them. Without them, we're never going to get there. Have yourself a great week. It's going to be 19 degrees tomorrow, and then it's going to be snowing on Friday. So get out there, enjoy it. I got my shorts, got my t-shirt. It's going to be 19 degrees. There'll be snow on the ground, but I don't care. Have yourself a great week, and I'll see you in the future.